welcome back to the Forward Drive podcast driven by Shelter. Day 2 of the Forward Drive show in Adelaide, Ronnie. We've got maxxis on board, Shelter are here. Southern River Band with Let It Ride. You guys can't hear that, but that is going on over the top. Without further ado, it is a good song.
Great vibes.
Introducing Mitch and Jess from Wandering Aus. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. You parked up next to us, so you drew the short straw, and we brought you on for the potty. But how's it been so far?
Twist of the arm.
Yeah, good show.
No, it's been good. Today has been pumping. The weather has turned it on for us.
Yep.
Friday's always a bit of a quieter one, but Saturday is looking to be the day to be here.
Yeah, it's launched. There's a massive crowd behind us all getting into some taco. Ronnie, how are you going, mate?
Yeah, it's all that sounding
busy morning
behind us. Yeah, mate, I'm going bloody great. Yeah, going great.
Has he been on stage?
A lot better than I thought I would right now. I felt a bit flat earlier, but I've come back. Second win.
Because it's only 1 o'clock here, you're on a Coke at the moment, but we're going to crack open those shelters after, so
don't
want to pick too early.
Don't crack it too early.
Yeah, very good.
This absolute beast you got here behind us. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so brand new build for us. We've officially owned it for about a week. So it hasn't got dirty yet.
What's on the clock?
Pardon?
What's on the clock?
About 600 kilometres tops. That's from each of the mechanics and the dealers and the stockists to get it all fitted out. So a bit of a work in progress. Brand new XLT V6 Ranger. We've got a precision canopy on the back of it and a Bush Company rooftop tent and awning set up on the side. So pretty much emulated what we had in our old car, which was the 3.2 PX2 Ranger.
Yep. And I think the thing that's turning heads over there at the moment is the colour that you've gone with. So can you give us, we encourage everyone to get over to Wandering Aus and have a look.
Have a look.
But give us a little rundown on what you went with there.
Yeah, so she's a bit different. Underneath, all the pretty stuff is just your standard white, but we've wrapped it up to look after the paint in a Bronco Brown.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful Bronco Brown, satin Bronco Brown. A few of the punters yesterday thought it was Sandy Taupe, but it's definitely not.
You fooled me.
Definitely not Sandy Taupe. It looks pretty trick. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks unreal. And now, Wandering Aus, you guys are local South Australian at the Adelaide show here, so they've made a really great, choice to put on the Adelaide sort of YouTube content creators and really make a showcase of that. So you're joined by a few fellow South Australians, but what got you into what you're doing now? So you guys are Barossa-based.
Yep.
And working full-time as well. So I'd love you guys to both of you to touch on what brought you to YouTubing, forward drive, adventuring, whilst balancing full-time work as well?
100%. So, look, we both grew up travelling Australia, both slightly differently, weren't we? My upbringing was outback travel. So, my grandfather is Len Beadell.
Do you know that, Ronnie?
Yeah.
You did know that?
So, pretty special, something we're pretty proud of. As I said, my upbringing was outback travel and getting off-road a fair bit, and
it's in his blood.
That's
absolutely.
it, 100%.
If it's ever been in anyone's blood, it's in yours, I think.
Red dirt and corrugations are running through the veins.
That's awesome.
So that was pretty special growing up and being able to share that. And then Jess had a similar upbringing, but slightly different, wasn't it? I'll let you chat about that.
Yeah, do you enjoy it as much, Jess, or is Mitch just dragging you along?
I love it.
Oh, you
do?
Awesome.
No. I'm not related to anyone famous, but I grew up caravanning quite a bit, just around Australia. Less bush, but still, love it. So I think as soon as we met, we knew that we wanted to do this all along.
Yeah.
So he's definitely dragged me around the bush areas, and obviously I've learned heaps about Len Beadell on the way, but it's cool that I'm now related.
But no, we recently married too, so it's all in the name now too. Yeah.
Jess, do you like the beach or the bush?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah?
I don't know. Both? I think bush for the serenity and the quietness.
Yep.
If that's a word.
We'll take it.
But definitely beach in summer, I love beach camping. You not so much.
We did an hour podcast on that and didn't come to a definitive answer, did we?
No, we didn't.
Just a roundabout sort of chat for an hour.
My pet hate is sand.
We said that too.
Yeah.
Well, I said that. I don't know if you did.
Nothing worse than getting into a bed full of sand.
Yeah,
I like sand.
I'm with you. I'm with you there.
I don't mind the ocean, but
I don't even notice it. No.
Don't notice the sand?
No, I don't notice the sand. No.
Look, there's a good trick to sand though. If you have some talcum powder, it gets the sand off your feet.
There you go. That's a trick.
Yeah, so I was doing a tag along down Bill Bunny Dunes once, right?
Yep.
And I just said out loud, I said, I wish there was a way that you could just get the sand magically off your feet. And this lady piped up. She goes, yeah, talcum powder. And I was like, what? Talcum powder?
There you go. Tips and tricks with Ronny.
Yeah. Mate.
That's why he's the
So
expert.
good.
Yeah, 100%. No, I suppose that's what brought us together. Like, it's a shared passion. As you touched on, we're both full-time workers. So I'm a teacher full-time, and Jess is a paramedic full-time too. So
perfect for the bush, eh? Something goes wrong?
Yeah,
that's true.
So our love of adventure became a stress relief, I suppose.
Yeah.
Both high-stress jobs at times. So,
So how do you balance that with your full-time work? I mean, my profession, I have a set holiday, so I don't actually understand how you put in for leave, how you do this for big trips, or did you start out as weekend warriors? So how do you go about setting off on something like the Len Beadell Highway?
100%. We started out as weekend warriors, and that's where that's your proving ground, I suppose. We push the boundaries a little bit with our employers around holidays, so trying to manipulate leave, and Jess has a little bit more flexibility than I do around school holidays. But yeah, it's just putting in the extra time when you're working, and then hopefully asking for favours back when you need it. Tacking on a few extra days and weeks here and there after holidays and stuff like that. So look, it's not as flexible as we'd love it to be, but we make it work because we love what we do. And we get to share that with other people too along the way.
Yeah, and what do you teach at school? Oh, what subject do you teach?
I'm a tech studies teacher, so I'm actually a chippy by trade, and then got into tech studies. So teach a bit of woodwork, bit of metalwork, bit of programming.
Hands-on.
Fun.
Yeah, so we've got the paramedic, and then we've got the bush mechanic too. So we're all sorted out there.
Yeah, the bush mechanic at its finest. That's about the limit of my mechanical knowledge, I reckon.
Very good.
So Jess, what would you suggest is a good bush fix for a human?
Have you had to do any? Have you ever had to sort of? I don't know. What do you say?
When we're away?
Yeah. Have you ever been called upon out there?
No. I haven't needed to do anything while we've been away.
Yeah, well, touch wood, you don't have to. But I feel like I want to travel with these guys. So
although I do
safe.
make the worst patient, don't I? I feel like I'm always the one hurting myself.
Yeah, okay.
He's always the one patching me
swap
up.
roles out there. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, a lot of the people in this area that we're in, like, you could put a formidable team together to do like a real expedition, you know.
On this creative section here.
Yeah, you've got a nurse here, you got
cooks,
build some stuff. We got the other guy over there, the Jeff.
What are you bringing?
Oh my God, me, navigation.
Fair enough.
Finding camp in the dark. I'm good at that.
Very good. I'd be a decent co-pilot. Probably just sit in the other chair and toil away.
Keep me from talking too much on the two-way.
That's it.
Yeah. So,
Oh dear.
Mitch, how many of the Len Beadell trucks have you done?
I reckon. Well, over my lifetime, I've ticked them all off, but I've done the Len Beadell 4 or 5 times, the Connie Sue 3 or 4
That's
times,
my favourite.
the Gun Barrel Highway 3 or 4 times. So, look, it's really special. And I suppose part of being Len Beadell is a generation that sort of is getting on, and some people are not aware of what he did. And I suppose I feel like it's a little bit on my shoulders to share that a little bit. Teach people what's out there. The Simpson has always been a destination space, but I think the Western Deserts have got so much to offer, as long as people are prepared, tick all the boxes and make sure they're well equipped. They've got equally as much to offer as the Simpson, and I want to share that. I want to make sure that my generation and younger know that these tracks exist and the story behind them. Huge story behind how those roads came about, and the effort and the stories that went into it. So no aircon, no aircon in the old Land Rovers. So there was legitimately blood, sweat, and tears went into those roads by not just Len, but a team of people, and that should be shared.
What was the first? Sorry, Len,
go.
What was the first track you wanted to do? Like the first time you went out there to follow one of Len's footsteps. Which one?
My favourite would have to be the Sandy Blight Junction into the Gun Barrel Highway. I think that's a beautiful section of country. When I got my own full drive and was like, we're going bush, I can't wait to do it. I'd take any of them. The Len Beadell highways is probably the more accessible of the tracks, being a little bit closer to home, and distance-wise is, it's probably a bit easier, although it's harsh.
We have covered it before, so just for everyone's knowledge, the Beadell runs from Coober Pedy on your side in SA to
Laverton in WA. So tick over 1,300 Ks.
It's a massive stretch.
Massive stretch. So there's one fuel stop now along the way.
Yep.
That's about 800 Ks from Coober Pedy and a little roadhouse called Ilkirka.
Yep.
And they've got your basic supplies, fuel and water and mechanics and stuff, mechanical supplies and stuff like that there. But otherwise she's pretty remote.
Yeah. Now you haven't had time, Ronny, to go and watch Mitch talk. I went over to the big stage yesterday and Mitch jumped up there. And Friday was a bit slower than what it is today, so get ready for later on, mate. There's a big crowd there.
Those people off.
The best thing happened yesterday that I saw at the whole show. Mitch started and he spoke about his relation, or his ties to Len and Beadell and all this, and some old duck in the crowd just starts clapping him. I was like, this is awesome, because but these, who knows, she's probably been full drive and camping for 100%. Her lifetime.
She came and caught us after and she said, I've been a fan of Len Beadell since I was 16 years old. So,
wow, that's cool.
You come across those people all the time, and it's exciting to be able to share their joy about, it's amazing that you're, the relation and that you're continuing to do. And it makes sense, I guess, what Jess and I do when people find out. Getting away isn't everyone's, as remote as we do, isn't everyone's cup of tea, but it makes sense when people realise, where that was bred. Yeah,
it's a great connection to have in the industry, far out.
Have you met Owen Douglas?
I haven't. Well, not that I remember. I might have been a little, but no.
Okay.
Who's that, Ronny?
That'd be really cool to put these two guys together. Owen Douglas, that's Malcolm Douglas's grandson.
Oh, righto.
So, he lives up in Broome at the moment with Valerie, up near the Croc Farm and all that.
Yep.
So it'd be really cool for you guys to sort of get together and just have a yarn.
100%.
Be a fly on the wall for that one.
It's actually how me and Harry from Fire to Fork connected. Was he was doing a trip along the Beadell.
Oh yeah.
And we connected that way. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You don't have to tick off people to head in there, do you?
No, we don't. We do a fair bit. My auntie Connie and her husband do a fair bit of maintenance on the tracks, especially the signage.
So Connie is in Connie Sue?
Connie Sue, the Connie Sue Highway. So they do a fair bit of maintenance on the track, signage and stuff like that. Yeah. Unfortunately, there are a breed of people that like to souvenir things, and not just on our tracks, but all over Australia. So they go and replace signage and make sure everything's up to date, and replace visitor books and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
We have a fair part in making sure that the tracks are still a place to go, a destination place to go. So the family does a lot to do that, and share Len's story through his books and tapes and stuff like that. He wrote.
Awesome.
So, and they're great reads. They're just light-hearted. Good history, but lots of humour in there too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now I'm going to shift gear a little bit here. Head towards part of Ronny's chat when he's up on stage here at the moment is you've been talking about the editing side of being a YouTube content creator, a YouTuber content creator, and the grind. So you guys probably likewise haven't had a chance to look at Ronny's, but pretty incredible. We've spoken about it, so I won't bore the listeners, but just I suppose the time and effort that it takes to get these videos out, the travel that's done to get to these shows around the country. So for you guys, do you enjoy that part of being YouTubers and content creators, the editing style, the filming, photography? Because it takes you very high quality videos. It takes. I can see how hard these blokes work around here.
Yeah. I think if you did enjoy that side of it, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard. Some days is harder than others, for sure. But we came back, our 3-week Beadell trip, we came back with about just over a terabyte of footage. Right. So that's a lot of footage to go through
so that's a lot.
Do you shoot 4K? Or
yeah, full 4K.
4K,
across,
adds up, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Across a couple of GoPros and a Sony A7 and a drone. So, there's a fair bit of footage to be able to catalogue and make sure you don't lose track of. It's pretty easy to lose clips amongst everything else.
Yeah.
So,
and did you learn that through just playing around, mucking around with it? And
I suppose we started out with the photography side of stuff, which I mucked around with at school and did a bit of editing and stuff at school as well. So I had a bit of an interest there already.
Yep.
And heck, if you look back at some of our first videos, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
And you learn, if you need to find something, there's a reason YouTube has been so big. if I need to find something or I want to do something, or I want to emulate something that I've seen on someone else's channel, I just go on YouTube.
Head straight to YouTube. 100%.
How do you feel when you look at your early stuff?
Cringeworthy, some of it. Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. Very cringeworthy.
Anyone listening, don't look at our first video.
Yeah, that's it. Start from about 2022. No, it's good to watch back and see how far you've come.
Absolutely.
For sure. But it's an effort. Like it takes time.
Yeah.
You know, for as I said, 1.5 terabytes of footage, and you're making a 20-30 minute episode. That's probably 8 hours work.
Yeah.
Plus.
So Jess, what's your role in it all out on the road? Are you if Mitch is driving,
model,
are you driving?
She brings the good looks.
Just getting the shots and.
No, well, I help here and there. I guess I take more like photos and video footage. He is the one that edits. Puts it all together. So, and then he shows me and I tell him if it looks good or not.
You're the final
tell
say.
him what to change and all that sort of stuff. But
definitely the QA.
You're definitely the creative one.
I would say, we need to get a shot of the car driving past. Can you just run over 100 metres down that way across that sand dune, and she gets the camera out and off she goes.
I like watching the playbacks of like when you have to drive past and you got to get out of sight, and then they like some content creators will play them running back to get it. They're like sweating.
I'm literally that person.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That's my job.
Doesn't look like a lot of fun, that one.
It's much easier when you have a camera car. Right? I tell you. Don't always have that either, but when you have a camera car, oh my God, it's so good.
Changes things up
handy.
a bit.
Yeah.
We're not
you just sit in the car for a bit.
We're not that big, unfortunately, but and you touched on it, like, I hope you're paying well. I suppose, like, we never did it for money. Like, you do it because you enjoy creating the content or you want to share. Like, for us, it's about sharing. We enjoy the content creation side of things as well, but if you're getting into YouTube initially because you think you're going to get rich doing it, you're in it for the wrong reason. Because it's Ronny can attest to this, like, it takes time to get to that level. Like, you don't snap your fingers and go from zero to, being well known and making lots of money and getting 100,000 views on videos overnight. Like, it's hard slog. So
the only way you can do that if you have an endless budget and you roll your car every week.
That's it.
It seems to be a thing. Like, all the TV shows, they got to roll the car now.
It's just not possible, is it?
100%. So, for us, it's about sharing. And we get to enjoy our trips while we're away, and then we get to relive them as we edit.
That's cool.
So it can definitely get stressful. I suppose, like, making sure. Pleasing those social media algorithms can be a little stressful sometimes if you let it get to you. Like, you want to make sure, you're trying to, you're doing it for fun. But if you're, you want to try and get your content out on a timely sort of fashion, sometimes, you can put yourself under a bit of stress and the timelines and the rest of it too. So you've got to find that balance.
How do you go with the idea? I want to say competitive within yourselves, but the how do you find your improvement in your videos? Because I feel like everyone, it's just human nature. You're your own biggest sort of critique. So, and your videos are great quality, but I feel like when you do your own stuff, there's always you want to do something else or something better. Or how do you keep trying to improve the videos? Is it just going back to YouTube and learning something different or checking something else out to get ideas?
100%. And whether it's like, we get a lot of our ideas from watching other people. Not just destination stuff, but just, the style of, the way of people are editing or what they're adding. And you look at the sort of the trend of YouTube over probably the last 5 years, and it's changing, like completely changing. So for us, it's about sticking true to us and being who we want to be, but incorporating some of the stuff we see from other people and go, that's a great way of editing that. We want to include that. A
lot of it's situational as well, though, isn't it?
For sure.
Like something happens and then it changes your whole story, and then you got to rethink it all. And you really got to be adaptive, and 100%. Especially in the environment that you guys like to travel as well. On those tracks as well.
We go into to any trip with a bit of an idea, like probably me more so think about what I want to get out of it at the end. Like what's the feel that I want to get? And then sometimes I go back and rewatch the footage and we're nowhere near it. And you got to change. Like you just change it up. Like you still got to make use of what you've got. We're not driven by A certain style of video. Our videos change depending on where we are.
So speaking of sharing tasks and stuff, how much of the driving do you guys share?
It's pretty 50-50, isn't it?
50-50, I reckon.
Awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Hope Lauren's listening to this. I did 98% of it.
Yeah.
On our last trip.
Well, Jesse's used to just zooming around in an ambulance, 150 miles an hour. So, big range is not too far different.
Yeah, just driving a little Mini.
I love it. I always jump in the driver's seat when I can.
Yeah, I can't blame Lauren because I do like driving, so it's not all on her. But
I love driving, but once she gets in, I can't get her out.
Yeah, right. That's good, especially when you're in this new thing, testing that out.
Well, when we picked up the new car, the dealer handed over the keys straight to Jess, and that was it. Like I was the second to drive it. So
you can always, you get closer to camp, you just hand Jess the keys, and then get stuck into some shelters.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm not complaining about that at all. Not complaining about it at all. Good coffee.
I'm going to pick both your brains here a little bit. We're obviously at the Adelaide Four-Wheel Drive and Adventure Show, so we'll pump up SA a bit while we're here. But obviously, Ronny, Bendelby Ranges that you've just been through, you've absolutely loved that. Have you got any other hotspots in SA that you can take us through, or how much have you done of it?
The end of the Yambital Highway, really.
Yeah, that's true. Awesome. Yeah, that creeps all the way over, doesn't it?
Rode the Beachport and stuff, but a lot of this travel it's not like your remote touring travel. Yep. I mean, you do get that at the back of SA, but most of the stuff I've done in SA is just it's like you'll challenge yourself up in the Flinders. Look, you can explore around the Flinders.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm sure you'll give us quite a few spots as well, like Arkaroola and that. But I haven't really, honestly, I've just dipped my toe in to South Australia, and there's so much. South Australia's underrated. Doesn't get talked about enough. Do you guys feel the same?
Yeah. I think the beautiful thing about South Australia is we've got something for every time of year. Yeah. So wintertime, we can head up into the Flinders and get some nice weather. Go up through Inaminka, do the Strzelecki up to Inaminka, or go up to Birdsville, which is just over the border of Queensland. And then all that sort of centre of South Australia stuff is fantastic. Amberdell Highway, you've got the Painted Desert. It's fantastic. There's the Flinders and the Bendelby Ranges area is just huge. So endless weekenders and week trips that you can be going through there. And then in the summertime, we're pretty lucky with our beaches. From the Eyre Peninsula, the York Peninsula, road to Beachport through the southeast is absolutely stunning. So there is something for everyone. And I think probably in the last 10 years, I think travellers that are coming from interstate are starting to realise what SA has to offer. We're not just we're not Radelaide with not much going on. There's a fair bit going on, and there's heaps of places to go check out. I think it's the best way to put it. It's pretty underrated, the word. Even I spent 4 or 5 nights just in the middle of the season last year in the Barossa, Adelaide Hills area, and just that little pocket itself. Not forward driving. We were just having a look around, and the scenery is just beautiful. It's just no idea it was even there, sort of thing. Obviously I'd heard of it, but I hadn't actually. We're pretty lucky. Pretty lucky. Beautiful part of the world. Yeah, it's like if you draw a line from Darwin all the way down to straight line down to Adelaide, everything to the west, it's just so open. It's incredible how much land that is not, really developed, occupied or anything. It's this massive area you can explore, camp and check out. And I'd love to see your spider web on the map if you've drawn one. I reckon that'd be cool because yours would be very central, right? And because because we're part-time travellers with our full-time work, a lot of our stuff is weekenders, isn't it? So we go off and we've spread, and we've done a lot of South Australia, and we're keen now to start spreading and doing more the east. We've not touched much of the eastern state stuff, so we'd love to do that. We've got big plans to go and spend some extended time over in WA and really lap that up because there's some beautiful spots over in WA, but we think we're pretty lucky over here in South Australia that you can be not too far away. Like even the Riverland is like a beautiful spot, summer or winter. Jump up on the Murray River and camp on the side of the river, light a fire and love that. And it's an hour away. It's not far. You can get some beautiful camp spots and forward driving areas that are not far away from home. It's a good sell. It's definitely. Can we get from both of you your personal both top 2 places you got to see in SA? In SA. Top 2. All right, I'll go start you off while you're thinking. Top 2 for me would be Eyre Peninsula for the summer. just endless beaches that you can be camping.
Any spot in particular?
The Coffin Bay or?
Coffin Bay is good, but can be busy. If you want to go, like the national parks are beautiful, but we travel with our dog a fair bit, so we're sort of restricted a little bit there. I would say up through Streaky Bay, Smoky Bay is beautiful. Sort of northern
Ceduna side.
Ceduna side is quite good, and then just sort of again, sort of towards Tumby, between Tumby and Port Lincoln, there's some beautiful beaches to camp on. So summertime, Eyre Peninsula, wintertime, if you want to go close to home, you really can't beat the Flinders. There is stations for days up there to camp on, and the Bendelbees is one example of that. So that'd be my two spots for close to home.
Before we get Jess's spots, so how much time would you recommend people take to go to these two places?
Oh, so you could do the Eyre Peninsula in say 4 or 5 days. Okay. But you could also do the Eyre Peninsula in 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. If you really took your time to hop between the beaches and lap it up, there's lots to do, lots of national parks to check out, lots of forward driving to do along the beaches, fishing. There's something for everyone. Playground. You can go inland, so if the weather starts to blow up, there's some serious stuff up inland. So Gawler Ranges is not too far away from Streaky Bay, so jump into there. So however long you got, you can fill it. Like it's literally, it's a great region.
Awesome. Yep. Enough time, Jess?
I bought you a fair bit of time there.
I would have to say probably the southern beaches, I reckon, like Rapid Bay, like Port Wollonga, but specifically KI, like just the whole section.
Right, okay.
In summertime, probably my fave. And then I'd have to go. Flinders popped into my mind straight away.
Yeah, right.
For winter. I know.
Is there a particular part of the Flinders?
Sorry?
Is there a particular part of the Flinders you enjoy?
I'd have to say, I was going to say Farina. Farina have like the best bakery. Is that still open? They do. Still open?
2 months of the year?
June, July, August.
Right.
What? It's open 2 months of the year?
I think it's 3. But anyway, really good sausage rolls.
Okay.
2 or 3. That's not a very long time to be open, really.
And like Mount Little. Whereabouts is that again? Is that north? Yeah, it's north of the Flinders.
Okay.
Yeah. Big fan.
Now I'm sort of hungry and I want to go to the Flinders.
Let's all go to the bakery.
I'll get a pie right now or a Danish pastry.
Very good. Quickly, I just want to cover your car quickly. So to give us a little bit, I know you touched on it briefly at the start. Yep. But the recent build, it looks awesome. Who have you used to sort of set that whole thing up?
Yeah, so look, we did our research on our old car, really. So we've emulated what we did on our old car on the new car. Yep. As I said,
which was a Ranger.
Was a Ranger. Yep. So we've got a Bush Company rooftop tent on the top, which we had before. We loved it, didn't let us down. So we went with them again, and their 180 awning to match that. We have ports.
So the 180 awning going to the front and to the back.
The XT Max, so it goes both ways, which is really good. Gives us lots of shade, but it means we can still access the tent from the rear of that car.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure. We have, there's a company called Pirate Camp Co who do a whole lot of specialist products for the Rangers, the next-gen Rangers. So we've used them, so underbody protection, which has been fantastic, and a few little switch panels and gas strut kits here and there. Yep. So they're really cool. So we've done them. We still run our Toyo tyres. We've run them for like 10 years now. Never let us down. So I know you guys are with Maxxis, so apologies about the clash of sponsorship. But Toyos, we love them. They've really done us well on all our trips.
Yep. I can guarantee there's one lead down over.
Yeah.
Give them a go next time.
We'll have to go on a trip together and see which one lasts. We've then gone with there's a local company called the Blacksmith Camping Supplies. They do all your your canvas products.
I've seen them a bit around at the show.
So dirty wheel bags, your fridge organisers, your pantry organisers, camp oven bags, your porta potty any of those stuff. So we've made sure we fitted out the inside of that with them. Local company, Australian-made canvas, Australian-made products. Yep. So we love that stuff. We've got an ARB protection on the front with the bull bar, and then we've kitted that up with the Oricom UHF system, and then we've gone and looked after the transmission with a wholesale automatics transcooler, so that one day when we want to tow, we're really looking after the transmission of that space. So
how hot does the transmission get?
Oh, I haven't looked. So as I said, we've only done 600 Ks.
It's on your dash, right?
It will be. Yeah. So we haven't really played around with it too much. But yeah, we'll be able to check in with us in a few months when we get on some trips and
be keen to know. Yeah. Because when I test drove one, it definitely needed it.
Yeah, that's it. And look, vans are not getting smaller. So if you ever want to tow, looking after your trans and your drive line's really important.
And, I'd like to see this Range Rover here go well, because our friend here, Ronnie, is he just wasn't all over the new Ford Ranger at the start. So
no. I saw your little test video, Ronnie. You gave it a good whacking in the sand. It looked good.
I gave it a good whack in the sand.
Too many buttons and dials.
There is
good whack. Yeah.
There is a lot. Don't get me wrong. I'm a bit of a tech man. You don't teach tech studies and the rest if you don't like.
And not into it.
You don't like tech. So I do like the toys, the gizmos and gadgets.
100%.
But there is such a thing as too much. Sometimes you can overcomplicate it.
Yep.
So ours has not got the premium pack. It doesn't have all the 360 cameras and all the rest of it, all the front sensors. But it's got the stuff that makes it comfortable on long journeys.
Jess is too good a driver. You don't need those 360 cams on it.
That's it. Should back that thing in anyway.
Yeah. Will you do, last one on this, will you do a walk around video on that when it comes time?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I'm going to encourage people now to keep an eye on that, because the canopy, for someone that doesn't have one that would love one, it's pretty much it's probably the one that I just say, whatever Mitch and Jess have, put that on, because
it's good.
Just spatially, it's just all set out really nicely.
We worked with Precision to design the internals of that,
Yep.
And even the rear setup based off what we had before.
Yep.
Because it worked, we teased some things out in our last car and it worked really well. We got this made out of alley to make it lighter.
Yeah, it's just bloody clean.
Weight is everything, so... Yeah, we'll do a full video. We've just got to finish the 12-volt system on the inside, and then we'll film it all and get it out.
You're running upright fridge or...?
Upright fridge, we've got the Bushman upright fridge, the 85. Saves digging through a chest fridge. It's so much
saves the weight
easier.
as well from that drop slide.
Tell you who loved that little tip on Mitch's talk yesterday, the voice behind the Jaden who's... He's texting. Yeah. Sorry, mate, if we're boring you, but
he's on text.
He loved that little tip.
We
got home and he's like, the upright fridge. That's such a good call by Mitch. And so it might be in the market.
Nothing
I reckon you
worse
might
than
have just done a
having
sale on the purchase.
Are you selling stuff?
Just bought one.
Oh, good on you. You just
bought a fridge. There you go. Very good.
We're going to jump into something. So it's around the Firepit. This is where we do some quick fire questions, and we'll try and get you guys involved. I know it's up on the socials. We did a quick launch here to see if we could get any in for these guys, but maxxis are on board now for us for around the Firepit. I know you guys are Toyo, but we're sticking with maxxis. So they're supporting around the Firepit now, which we're really thankful for. But I'm going to just ask Jaden there. He doesn't have a mic, but has you got any questions for us, mate?
Well, you're there, Jaden.
Normally there's like a bit of a crackle going.
There is a crackle going.
There is.
I can hear it.
He can whip that up.
Everyone around is talking too loud.
You'll find we'll never...
it sounds good?
That's it.
Nice. Just imagine. We don't need one
we love
that
high. Just hold that one there, Liam. We're ready in a sec. Oh, hey, folks, you got any questions? You get a chance to win a carton of shelter. Yeah.
Penny win a carton of us. Jaden, what
do you have any questions, Madam? Just stick us
Saucy and stuff? Yeah.
Got any questions for the podcast?
I'm literally just rolling in, so I don't know what the...
Well, just
going on.
Just jump over here, mate, and have a look for a bit.
If you just ask a question, you get a case of beers.
Just got to jump over here, though. Over here. Yeah.
So, there we go.
You'll see what's
a
great
question. Who are we?
We're Jess and Mitch from Wandering Aus Adventures, and we'll let these guys introduce themselves.
I'm Liam, and this is Ronny Dahl, who the big timer. We are the 4-Wheel Drive podcast together, though. Guest interviewing Mitch and Jess. So that's So that's all you need to ask, mate, if you want a case of beer, because we just need one question off you. And go for it.
What's your reason for travelling?
What's the reason for travelling?
This is a really good question here, Ronnie. And I reckon you did something similar at the last year's show. Remember you did your destination or the journey?
Destination or the journey?
Destination or the journey.
It's like the beach and bush. It never gets there, right?
That's it. 100%. You can go around in circles. Our reason for travel is stress relief. Yeah, we work in high stress jobs, and we find that's the best relaxing place that we can find.
Yeah.
You're looking for the best relaxing place. Yeah. But what about the journey? Does it?
Oh, look, we're 50-50, the journey and the destination. The Beadell Highway is the journey, right?
Can I rephrase?
Yeah, go.
What about the journey on a Len Beadell?
Yeah. there's nothing better. And I think
going back in time.
Yeah, that's it. And that's why we're 50-50 journey in the destination.
Yeah.
Like the journey along like any of Len's roads is awesome. You get to the next signpost and it's just another piece of history.
Yeah.
The destination, there's always part of that. You know, there's lots of destinations around Australia we want to go to, but you lap up the journey on the way.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to cut us off there because I feel like, thank you, mate, for that question. Hang around, we'll give you a case of beers. But we did have some questions here.
Let's go.
I
think we need to wrap up because next door might be after.
Yeah, next week stole their power.
So Mitch and Jess, thank you. Wandering Aus, encourage everyone to get over there. Thank you for taking the time to come and chat with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
I've enjoyed getting to know you guys, and yeah, we can keep this friendship going. I think we've got some friends over at Wandering Aus now, Ronny.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the shelters here. Thank you to them again. Maxxis, thank you for being on board.
We can give you a strong one in a second.
We'll give you some more.
These are
but
delicious.
it'll be music by the Southern River Band to let it ride to get us out. I'm under pressure here now because they want the thing.
Yep,
Full Drive Podcast. Go and check us out. You know where to find us now. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.